goal of all believers. Salawat. Karbala teaches us to always be ready to sacrifice anything and everything for Allah Ta'ala and Islam. And that's what Imam Hasan al-Islam did. Imam Hasan al-Islam sacrificed his greatest companions, his family, including his 4-year-old little daughter, Bibi Sakina al-Islam, and even his 6-month-old baby, Hazrat Ali Asghar al-Islam. No longer than 50 years had passed since the demise of the great Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Muslims had started to forget the great teachings of Islam, and Yazid had become the next tyrant ruler after his father Muawiyah died. Yazid had the worst character in the history of mankind. He was cruel, he was rude, and he drank sharab. And Yazid killed innocent people for no reason. And Yazid didn't even believe in Islam, and he was already changing the rules of Islam. And he played with dogs and monkeys at very holy places. And a man of this character, that he could just go up to Imam Hasan al-Islam and ask for his pledge of allegiance and obedience. Of course, Imam Hasan al-Islam refused for the sake of Islam. Because if that did happen, Yazid would be in control of Islam, and he would make everyone bad, and no one would go to heaven. And there would be no Islam left. So, of course, Imam Hasan al-Islam refused for the sake of Islam. Imam Hasan al-Islam knew that Yazid would keep on trying to force him to give the pledge. So Imam Hasan al-Islam decided to move to Kufa with his caravan. But in the middle of the journey, Imam Hasan al-Islam was stopped by General Hor and 1,000 army soldiers of Yazid. The soldiers came to stop Imam Hasan al-Islam, but they were very tired. As General Hor was telling Imam Hasan al-Islam that they would only let him and his caravan go if they pledged to Yazid, Imam Hasan al-Islam said, "Hor, stop. Why are your lips so dry, and why are you so pale?" Hazrat Hor said, "It was a long and tiring journey, and we ran out of water." So Imam Hasan al-Islam immediately told his companions to give water to Hazrat Hor and all of his 1,000 soldiers, and not only the people, not only the army soldiers of Yazid, but also their horses. Imam Hasan al-Islam teaches us the act of kindness, even toward enemies. But even after this great act of kindness, still, General Hor stopped Imam Hasan al-Islam. And he forced him and his caravan to go to the hot, dry desert of Karbala instead of the city of Kufa. He said, "We will only let you go if you pledge to Yazid." Of course, Imam Hasan al-Islam couldn't pledge to Yazid, so they set up the camps. They arrived in Karbala on the 2nd day of Muharram. But then on the 4th day of Muharram, thousands and thousands of more army soldiers came, along with Umar ibn Sa'd and Shimr, and surrounded the camp of Imam Hasan al-Islam, stopping anyone from getting in or out. And then on the 7th day of Muharram, they stopped the water supply going to Imam Hasan al-Islam's tents. And then everyone, especially the children, were thirsty for 3 entire days. And then on the 10th of Muharram, the war of Karbala happened. Although the companions of Imam Hussein fought bravely, since they were up against thousands and thousands of soldiers, so they were all tired. And then the young adults went to fight. They too fought very bravely, but then they were more tired. Now I would like to talk about Mullah Abbas alayhi salam. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Mullah Abbas alayhi salam was a great companion and dear brother of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. His title was Abul Fazl, meaning father of goodness. He was born on the 4th of Shaban, 26 Hijrah. Once Imam Ali al-Islam heard the good news of his new child's birth, he rushed to take the newborn and recite azan in his right ear and iqamat in his left. So the first voice Hazrat Abbas al-Islam heard was the voice of his father. His noble father, Imam Ali al-Islam, chose to name this great warrior Al-Abbas, but we say Mullah Abbas al-Islam or Hazrat Abbas al-Islam in respect. Al-Abbas meaning the lion that other lions fear and run from. Mullah Abbas al-Islam was like the great lion of Islam. Just like his brother Imam Hussein al-Islam, Mullah Abbas al-Islam had inherited the great strength and bravery of Imam Ali al-Islam. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Mullah Abbas al-Islam looked like a strong mountain, and in battle, he was fearless. Mullah Abbas al-Islam's great character included his great bravery, patience, love and loyalty to his dear brother, Imam Hussein al-Islam, and most of all, his strong faith toward Islam. Mullah Abbas al-Islam contributed to Islam by listening and following Imam Hussein al-Islam, being the flag bearer of Islam and Imam Hussein al-Islam's small army, and going out to get water for everyone in the tents who was thirsty for 3 whole days during the event of Karbala. Imam Hussein al-Islam went to go get permission from Imam Hussein al-Islam to go out to the battle and fight. But Imam Hussein al-Islam did not let him. He said with a sad voice, "You are my backbone and the flag bearer of my army. My family feels safe as long as you are with them." But Mullah Abbas al-Islam insisted on permission. He said, "I can no longer stand it. I want to take revenge upon these hypocrites." Instead of letting his brother fight the enemies, Imam Hussein al-Islam sent Mullah Abbas al-Islam to go get water for everyone in the tents who was very thirsty for 3 whole days. Mullah Abbas al-Islam went to the Umayyad army with the words of criticism. He warned them against God's punishment. He directed most of his speech to the army's commander, Umar ibn Sa'd. He said, "This is Al-Hussein, son of the daughter of Allah's messenger. You have killed his companions and household. These are now his children at Haram. They are thirsty, and I ask you to give them water. You have the entire river to yourselves. Just give them a few drops of water, and we will not ask for any more." No one from the Umayyad army could answer him, but Shimr, who said, "Son of Abu Tarab, if the whole surface of this earth was covered by water, controlled by us, we will not give you a single drop until you accept to the leadership of Yazid." Mullah Abbas al-Islam had to report the situation to his brother. Finally, Mullah Abbas al-Islam was sent to go get water by force. He got on his horse and borrowed Bibi Sakina al-Islam's water skin. Bibi Sakina had gathered 30 to 40 children who who were very thirsty and had their empty, dry bowls of water out in containers that were meant for water. They're empty. Bibi Sakina said, "Don't worry, children. Don't cry. We will get water soon. My uncle Abbas is very brave and strong. No one can defeat him. Don't cry. We will get water soon." So Mullah Abbas ﷺ went to the river Euphrates, and all of the army troops ran in fear because they knew how strong Mullah Abbas ﷺ was. So then Mullah Abbas ﷺ was now all alone on the banks of the river. His heart was as hot as fire because of thirst and the heat. When he tried to drink water, he saw the face of Bibi Sakina ﷺ in the reflection of the water, and he said, "How can I drink water when Bibi Sakina ﷺ? Bibi Sakina is thirsty. How can I drink water when my whole family is thirsty? How can I drink water when my imam is thirsty?" So he offered the water to his horse, but his horse turned his head away, showing that his horse wouldn't drink water if his mullah wasn't drinking water. As Mullah Abbas ﷺ was filling the mashkap with water, the army troops had regrouped and surrounded him, ready to fight back. Mullah Abbas ﷺ spared no effort in the fight. Umar ibn Sa'd and Shimmer told the army troops that, okay, you are scared of him, then shoot arrows at him. So then a rain and thousands of arrows came on Mullah Abbas ﷺ, and some of them got stuck on him. But Mullah Abbas ﷺ kept on going. But then one of the horrid hypocrites hid behind a palm tree and struck Mullah Abbas ﷺ on his right arm and cut it. A few moments later, another horrible hypocrite struck Mullah Abbas ﷺ on his left hand and cut it. Although he was bleeding very badly, Mullah Abbas ﷺ held the water skin with his teeth and kept on going. And then Umar ibn Sa'd told the best archer to shoot an arrow at the mush, and the arrow pierced the mush, and all of the water dribbled out. Mullah Abbas ﷺ was struck with sadness. He did not know what to do. Mullah Abbas ﷺ said, "Horse, take me back. I can't face Bibi Sakina ﷺ with no water." So the horse took Mullah Abbas ﷺ back to the battlefield. And Mullah Abbas ﷺ was shot with hundreds and hundreds of arrows, and lots of arrows got stuck in him. One arrow even got stuck in his eye. When one small thing gets into our eye, it hurts so much. Imagine the pain that Mullah Abbas ﷺ had when that arrow was stuck in his eye. He tried to get it out with the help of his knees, since he didn't have any arms left. But when he tried to get it out, one of the horrid hypocrites of Kufa struck Mullah Abbas ﷺ on his head with an iron mace. And then Mullah Abbas ﷺ, he was about to fall off his horse. Then he said, "Please be upon you. Peace be upon you, O Abu Abdullah." As the Imam heard these sad words of goodbye, he rushed, pushing himself through the army troops. And then Mullah Abbas ﷺ fell to the ground. And the misery of Mullah Abbas ﷺ, that all of the martyrs, when they fell off their horse, they could have protected their face with their hands. But Mullah Abbas ﷺ didn't have any arms left. So all of the arrows went through Mullah Abbas ﷺ and pierced through him. And Mullah Abbas ﷺ was martyred. The Imam threw himself on the body of his brother. And Imam Hasan ﷺ went back to the tents. And Bibi Sakina ﷺ came with the question, "Where is my uncle Abbas?" Everyone cried as the Imam told the sad news of Mullah Abbas is martyrdom. It was hardest for Bibi Zainab, who put her hand on her heart and said, "Oh, brother Abbas, we have certainly lost everything as we lost you. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un."